Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay, friends, we got a fun one, we got a crazy one, we got one with kids in the background screaming and yelling. However, it's a good one right here. So what I'm going to do is kind of describe my YouTube channel a little bit as far as its size goes. And then I'm going to talk today about the workflow that I have and that I use. I'll tell you the camera I'm using, the microphone that I'm using, and I'll also go through the computer I'm using, as well as the 3 different hard drives that I use to store, and I guess the fancy word is workflow. So stay tuned. Hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, throw down a like, and I'd really appreciate it. So let's dive in here. First of all, I have 2 channels. Between the 2 channels, I have about 7,000 subscribers, and I've made about 230, 240 videos, something in that ballpark. So here's the problem I was running into is I started YouTube a few years ago, just playing around, having fun. I enjoy making videos and how-tos and videos about teaching and that kind of stuff. So I started making these videos. I'd put them onto my computer right here, which is also the family computer. This is actually a 2012, late 2012, basic 21.5-inch iMac. And it's the bottom of the line one, I think. And the main thing to keep in mind is it's the 1 terabyte of storage. The hard drive is 1 terabyte of storage. So that obviously can be a problem if I'm making as many videos as I am. So here's how I make the videos, and then I'll kind of walk you through it, is I have the latest iPhone. Well, actually it was the latest when I got it a year ago. So it's the iPhone 8 Plus, and I got it with the 256 gigabytes of memory. So it has a ton of memory, and my thinking was try to keep my videos on my phone and just kind of play around with this YouTube thing. Now, the next stage I'm running into is that the YouTube is working pretty well. And I'm actually at the point now I'm making a little bit of money and trying to just reinvest the money that I am making and not spend any money besides what I'm making. But at the same time, I'm getting to a point here where I need to spend some money and find solutions for the storage and my workflow. So the camera that I use is the actual iPhone 8 Plus. And I think it works pretty well. Also, the second thing I do is I'm going to show you my wire right here. One thing I found is that if I plug in the earphones, the earbuds, that the microphone on here actually works pretty well. And you'll probably be able to pick up the baby and kids screaming in the background right now. But anyway, it works pretty darn well, and this is what I'm using for now. Again, I'm just a growing YouTuber trying to figure out if I'm going to do this or not. It's not my full-time job by any means, and don't make near enough money for it to be. But I do make a couple $100s a month, and that gets me to a position where I can buy a little bit better of a setup for the workflow. So here's what I've got. Basically, this computer is full as far as the memory on there. It's more than 85% full as far as that hard drive is concerned. I'm trying to keep it under 20% or 20% of it available, just so I'm not completely stuffing that hard drive. I really don't know enough to know if that really makes a whole lot of sense or not, but the information I've been gathering is you don't want to just keep stuffing this thing until it's absolutely full as far as the hard drives go. So now the next step I have is this. I've got this guy right here, which is a Seagate 3 terabyte hard drive that I'm using with Time Machine. So basically just to back the machine up. And then the second thing I have going on here is these 2 guys here, and these are really awesome. This is a recent additions to mine. So this is just backing the computer up, and these guys here are what I'm actually using for YouTube. So what I've decided to do is this. Take all of my YouTube videos and information off of this computer here. So this is just going to be kind of the family's stuff on it. And I'm going to use that for editing and that kind of thing. But this is where I'm going to store all of my footage, and this is where I'm going to dump all the footage onto there and edit it. So here's the process. This guy here is a 1 terabyte solid state, and these are both the G Technology. What does that really mean? I don't know, the name of the company. They seem to be more in line with the Apple products, so that's the reason I went this direction. And does it really make any difference? I have no idea. I don't think so. But I don't have to reformat them. This is the same thing they're selling in the Apple store. I'll put a couple links down below, and you can see where I'm purchasing this stuff at. But so here's the plan. This guy is super duper fast, right? This is a solid state 1 terabyte. So the bad news is it's expensive. It's more than $200 and considerably more than that. And so the good news is it's fast. It's super fast. But again, you got to pay a lot of money just to get that 1 terabyte. So my plan is this: I shoot my footage, and then I go onto my computer, and what you can do is go on to image capture. And what image capture does is it takes my footage straight from my phone, and I can put it straight onto this hard drive without having to put it on my computer. So the computer is just sort of helps me with that workflow of getting it from the phone to this, but I'm actually not even putting it on the computer at all, which is brilliant since I basically don't have any room left on there. So I get all the footage on here. That's kind of the recent stuff. Then I can edit it. So I can edit it from here using, basically all I'm using is the iMovie. I'm getting ready to start upgrading from there, but I feel like the iMovie for the level of videos I'm making is working just fine. And then once I'm happy with the product and I'm happy with the video, then I can upload it onto YouTube. And at that point, I push it 2 places. I push it over here, and this guy, this 2 terabyte hard drive, right? This is back to the spinning disk hard drive. So less expensive, 2 terabytes, a little bit more than $100, but it's obviously slower than the solid state. So this is where I kind of keep and store all of my YouTube videos. So if for some reason my YouTube channel was to shut down, I'd have all my videos on here. Now the second thing I do that I had to kind of figure out the game plan on is that because I'm using image capture, my videos are not making it to the computer and they're not getting backed up on this external hard drive that is doing the Time Machine. So Time Machine is not saving my YouTube videos. So here's what I've done is I set this guy up here with 3 terabytes, and I pulled aside 1 of the terabytes and set it aside as a basically a storage area. So 2 of the terabytes are segmented just for Time Machine and the backup, and then 1 of them is an open space. Basically, I called it clone, and I was originally going to clone my computer once in a while. But what I'm doing instead is that I am putting a second copy of all the YouTube videos on here. So let me back up a step and see if I can make that a little bit more clear. So download and make the videos here, edit them, and then I push them here for long-term storage, and then I also put them in a second place just to try to be a little bit more careful. I'm also pushing them over to here in that open 1 terabyte that I have over here. So anyway, that's the plan I have right now. The second thing that I have done recently is I have went ahead and spent the $10 a month to get, 2 terabytes of space with the iCloud. I'm not incredibly happy about that, but I am going to start to try using that. I've done it already twice and tried to back up my phone, which had about 210 gigabytes of information on it. And that much data, I couldn't even get it to go onto the iCloud. So basically that was the beginning of the end of my sort of plan that I had. And that's why I started going to this new plan here, is that I've been putting all my YouTube videos over to here, and I've been pushing them over to here and trying to take them off of my phone and get it down to maybe 100 gigabytes. And hopefully with 100 gigabytes, I can get it onto the cloud without too much trouble. But basically, I looked at a calculation I saw online, and for about 210 gigabytes, and my upload speed is about 10 megabytes per second. Is that right? So anyway, when I did the calculation, it was going to take more than 2 days to be able to use the iCloud and back up 210 gigabytes of information, more than 2 days. And it just wasn't going to work. It just seemed like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like a good plan to me. So anyway, I'm trying to cut that information in half as far as the amount of data, putting the YouTube videos here, putting the YouTube videos here, not putting them under the computer here, and using this solid state as what I'm dumping my information onto. Hey guys, I know I kind of went around in a circle there a little bit, but hopefully this gives you some kind of an idea. The second reason I'm making this video, by the way, is let me know what you're doing for your workflow. So again, I'm a very small YouTuber, obviously, but I see a lot of these guys showing workflow videos, but they're huge, expensive operations, and these are YouTubers that are really made this their first career. Not for me. I'm going to end up making a couple $1,000s a year on this, and that's it, and that's all. And basically, all that money will get pushed back into the business, if you will, of basically buying equipment and this kind of stuff. So I'm just doing it because I really enjoy doing it. So if you have any comments on what I'm doing, don't think I'm doing it right, hey, let me know. I would love to know a nice way to keep my videos for YouTube. I'd love a nice, secure way to back up my videos as well as the information on my personal computer, right? I'd really like to back up the information on this guy here with all the family videos. And again, I am backing it up to this external drive here with Time Machine, and I'm gonna try to back up the whole computer to the iCloud. I don't know how that's gonna work or not. So hey, put some comments down below, and if you have a better plan than I'm doing here, please be nice and kind. I know I'm still kind of new at this, but put your comments down below. Maybe you like what I have going on, maybe you don't. Look in the description below, and I'll put some links to where I'm buying these products right here. Seems to me like it's a pretty good plan, at least now while I'm a pretty small YouTuber, and we'll see where it goes from here. Hey guys, appreciate your time. Hit that like for me, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.